chat going. Let's see if that does it. Alright, let's try to reconnect to this thing. Wow. Quick thing. There we go. I think we're on. Go back to this one. Okay. Seatbelts on. Here we go. Good morning. Oh yeah. The van says good morning. Bob checked it out yesterday. It is brake pads, but we all think that's a little weird because it's only in reverse, but they're going to get that checked out. Alright, folks. So, I looked at the film. People don't call it film anymore. I looked at the video from yesterday, or today. I think the connection was good, but the video, there's something wrong. It just wasn't clear. I don't know if there was, like smudge on the lens or something. I don't know, because I wasn't pleased with the quality of the video on Wednesday. But I think we're back in business. Back in business. Alright, it's very cold this morning. The van says 36 degrees, but I think as I was driving up, it was closer to 32. 32. So, it's very cold. Put an extra layer on. Good to go. The other thing I got to think about are my hands. Like, I'm fine right now, but if it gets down to, below 32, most of the time I'm in the van, so it's not a really big deal, but I might have to get some gloves. I might have to bring some gloves. I've got gloves. I got so many pairs of gloves that don't sound funny. But alright, today's the day. I tested it last night. It worked fine. I was turning on it's just the sequence of events. You gotta turn the video on, then turn the chat reading application on. And that's it. And then I'm wearing something in my headset. If I don't wear this, I was thinking about getting why did that noise just happen? Heard a noise in the back. I'm going to check it out. I don't like driving around. I'm concerned about this stuff. Just going to check the back. I'm just checking the back. I'll be right back. issues. So I don't know what that was. We will wait until we've got plenty of time. Which I think is now. Yeah, I don't know what that noise was, but everything's all tight, packed away. 2 deliveries this morning. It's the typical Friday loop. Well, we got it today. I hope somebody comes on and types the chat today. Yeah, I mean, I tested it a couple of times just to make sure I was reading everything correctly. The headset worked. I had it hooked up to a speaker at one point just to see. You know, like those little portable speakers. I have one in the bakery that I listen to sometimes. So I can even use that. The difference would be that, the only difference would be, you can hear it. You can hear it read the text. Like right now, it's just going to go into my earbud. So you'll type, it will read it to me into my ear. It's almost like you're whispering in my ear. But that's how it's going to work. And then I'll respond. So even though I can't see the text, I will be able to communicate. And that is a game changer for this ride. And I have been giving some thought to, like, what is this channel all about? Like, what am I trying to do? What makes me happy? So here it is in a nutshell. And I think at some point I'm going to make, during a section of my drive, I will not trying to pass that truck. Maybe the last time I did that, it didn't work out so well. The area, the merge area at this end of the circle is very short. I thought I had like a long, and I didn't. And look at how close it gets. Like, it worked out fine, but I did do that one time. One time I'm like, oh, I'm going to pass this tractor trailer, and I really didn't leave myself enough room. I'm sure the guy driving the tractor trailer was like, no, please. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create like a little short clip that I can put on my channel. It sort of explains what the heck I'm doing, you know. Like, what is this guy's, you know, there's videos about dogs. They're cute. Then there's just a whole bunch of driving videos. But my goal is this. Like, I'm just going to film out here in the wilderness, in the wild. I will film or live stream my drives, have some conversation. If anybody signs in, I can listen to the chat, type, give a question, comment. Craig, you suck. But, so that's my goal. So, I'll just do live streams every morning, and then if something happens, I'll take little clips. I tested that out. If you look on my channel, I have a short little clip, something like 30 seconds long, where I almost hit a bunny rabbit. It was running across the street, and you can barely see it. It's just like it's this little streak that grows across the bottom of the screen. Right as there's sort of a driveway off to the right-hand side as I'm coming up. Because if you're not staring at the screen, you're going to miss it. But so stuff like that. Like I'm sure things will happen. Things happen out here all the time. Drivers do crazy stuff. Animals do crazy stuff. People do crazy stuff. So if something happens, I'll just capture it, make a short little video out of it, and stick it on my website. Or if, for whatever reason, I have a profound thought that I share, or somebody asks a question that's thought-provoking, I'll make a clip of that and stick it out there. So there'll be I think I'm going to have it in a couple of different categories. One will be mammals. I haven't figured out the name I want to make for that yet, but it'll be some sort of mammal thing. And the reason I'm saying mammals is, I was going to say just animals, but I'm just going to throw humans in there too. So anything that a mammal does, and I realize that also includes whales, then that would be pretty. I think that would be a pretty viral clip if there was a whale on the side of the road. But so that's one, mammals. Then I'd have one for traffic stuff. I haven't figured. I got to come up with little creative names for these things, right? The traffic stuff, like somebody cuts me off, somebody, whatever. Just all kinds of crazy traffic stuff that happens. And traffic. Oh, and then for conversations, meaningful conversations, or a meaningful idea. Because really, all I do, and all I'm doing is driving and thinking, which I did anyway, but now I do it out loud. Away from Thanksgiving, or actually at this point it will be 3 weeks away from Black Friday. Is it 3? Is Thanksgiving the last Thursday? It's weird the way that works out. I think it is though. I think it's the last Thursday, so maybe it's 4 weeks from today. I can't. Might be 4 weeks from today. I know it's not always the last Thursday, because it depends on when Saturday is, I think. This is starting to sound stupid. But I know that it's not the last Thursday because my mother's birthday was November the 30th. But her birthday was never Thanksgiving. So if the last day of the month was a Thursday, it would be the week before. So it's got to have something to do with Saturdays. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Truck ahead of us up there, not the one right in front of us, but the 18-wheeler, a couple of vehicles up. It must have some kind of blue. I keep seeing a blue light up there. I keep thinking that, is there like a police car or something, but it's that truck. So I think somewhere on the trailer it has a blue light. It's throwing me off this morning. It's throwing me off. Yesterday I got some stuff done. I got a letter a few days ago from Constellation. This is the energy company, Constellation. And they were the company that was providing like gas. So since I'm in Maryland, in Baltimore area, I'm like provider is BGD, Baltimore Gas. But I guess for years and years and years, or maybe it just went back to when Constellation bought BGD, or there's some kind of relationship there with the utility company, I think. So, but then they split off. So there was, but my gas has always been supplied through Constellation, and I didn't even. I mean, all of this stuff is like transparent to me. I don't know. I just pay the bill. So I get a letter in the mail that said, this is from Constellation saying, hey, this is just your notice to let you, to confirm the fact that your account has been or will be canceled. Have a nice day. I mean, literally, the letter basically gave no explanation at all. It just said, this is to confirm that your account with us is being canceled. Thinking, well, this could be a problem. It's starting to get cold out, and I don't know what all this means. So yesterday, and it had a phone number on there, but it literally said no more than that. So it was crazy. So I called them, and super nice lady. I would butcher her name if I tried to say it, so I'm not going to try to say it. But I did. They send you a survey afterwards. I did reply to the survey because she was extremely friendly, helpful. She knew exactly what she was talking about. It was a very pleasant client service experience. But so I called the number. She verifies my information. I'm like, I'm just not sure. The account number that they did have an account number listed on the letter, and I couldn't match that up with anything. I had like a plan for Constellation for some home services and stuff. It didn't match any of the numbers that I had. So I'm like, the account number on the letter I'm not familiar with. I don't know what this means. So she said, yeah. So what was happening was Constellation, I guess, no longer has an agreement with BGD to, because you can have like third-party suppliers, right? Like I usually don't mess with that stuff. You get letters from people that supply gas, and they say, hey, our rates are lower, you can use us, but I've never done any of that. So I'm not super familiar with how that whole process works. But she called, she said, hey, she said, hey, when I called her, that's what it is. So there's the relationship between Constellation and BGD in my area. I can no longer use them as my third-party supplier. I'm like, hey, okay. So what do I have to do? Because will it automatically switch over to some other provider? And she said yes. Apparently now BGD will be my provider as well as or supplier for the gas as well. I don't know. But I guess she said it was effective November 1st. And my heat came on last night, so I'm good to go. But I guess I'll look at the rates and see if it goes up. Actually, gas has been kind of cheaper. I think in some places electric is higher, but gas for me has been kind of cheaper. So 6 miles, 6 minutes. Yeah, so I got that done yesterday. So I'm going to have mammals, back to my categories of clips. Because once this live stream is over, I don't really expect, I think some people do watch a little bit, because I see the numbers go up a couple every now and then, but I don't expect people to watch live streams when they're not live anymore. I've even thought about whether I should delete them or not, like are they taking up a lot of space, but I'll leave them. So, mammals, traffic, conversations, maybe delivery stuff. You know, like I should send one of these times when I'm making the delivery, I should take you guys out of the van. Show you the trays of donuts and make you hungry. When you see these cream-filled donuts, and even if they're not your favorite type of donut, I don't know that they are for me. They sort of are. I mean, I like cream, but even if they aren't, you're gonna look at these cream-filled donuts and you're gonna go, oh my God. Good. I mean, it's a damn good looking Danish, but you got to taste them. You got to taste them. light sequence. I'm not sure if we're going to be next or if we've got a super long wait. I'll know in a minute. Yeah, we got a super long wait. Super long wait! Go now. Here we go. Get ready. Get ready. Put your seatbelt on. Oh, yeah. I did notice too that if it's like super bumpy, like one day recently, the little bridges that are in the middle of the road or on the side I guess they wake people up if they're falling asleep. Well, I wasn't falling asleep, but I think it was probably the one in the middle, and I probably like took a turn or something. But anyway, so I ran into that one of those little rumbly type things, and I noticed that when it was rumbling, the video got really kind of like just, you could tell it was, it wasn't blurry. Yeah, I guess blurry is the right word. But, so I think if there's excessive vibrations, it does kind of screw up the clarity of the camera. Hasn't really been an issue, but I'm sure they sell something that reduces the vibration. Set up right today. Oh my God. Go right between these two. That's how I am. So I don't care how close I am. Come out here. All right, guys. Let me turn around. Ear out. Okay, I'll be right back. Delivery number 1. got my less favorite rolling tray today. One thing though, it's not going anywhere. Because it doesn't roll good. Eclairs, I'm telling you, one of these days I'm just going to eat one. Okay. All right, I'll be right back. Deli drama. Okay, here we go. Boom, let's go. This was. Think of a way to do that better. Just afraid if I do that every time I move the camera, one of these days, the little suction cup's going to give up. It's going to say, all right, it's enough pressure. Pressure! Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are now ready for stop number 2. Possible ice on road. Okay. Ready to roll? Ready to Eldersburg. What's going on down there? All kinds of stuff. There's a lot of traffic. That's weird. Very strange. At this time, Orange Road, Town Road. All right, now keep your eye out for mammals. Oh, there's one. It's a person. But see, mammals is inclusive of all the people that I would care to video. I frequently see deer back here. It's kind of strange because you're not that far off the In other words, 10 minutes ago we were under there. School. Very established old school here in Baltimore County. They're the ones, they have a bell tower back there. They have an event once a year where you come here to play music. Turn signal, see? This would have been one of those times. Somebody could have gotten a point. All you have to do is type signal in the live chat box. If I don't signal, that's the rule. We got a game. The game itself is still under development. So I don't know what the prize is. I don't really know how I'm going to do this, but the game is going to be that if I don't use my turn signal, you notice when somebody types, the first person who types the word signal in the live chat box, Janet, if you're watching, I know you can't type in the chat box, so that would just drive you freaking crazy. It's like every time I don't use a signal, you want to type a signal, but you can't. It's like a slap in the face. But, so you type the word signal, you get a point if you're the first person. I don't know what the point does for you. I don't know. We'll figure that out. So we got to work with it. Oops, here we go. You're not going to be going 40 miles an hour. Good thing I came to my senses. Would have cost Jennifer a pretty penny. Right there. See that box on the right? It's the evil box. Oh, here's a question. Think about this. There's another one on the other side, but I'm pretty sure that they only pick up the traffic moving in the direction on their side, right? Otherwise, why would they have both of them there like that? Like, in other words, if you're passing a speed camera that's on the other side of the road, face like that, would it pick you up? I don't know that it would. I think you gotta be the one on your side. But I'm not taking the chance. I'm not taking the chance. Plus, on top of everything else, it's a safety issue. And let's focus on safety. But here was my thought. So let's say, like that camera is off the street on the other side of the sidewalk, right? So my question is, there's a lot of traffic out here today. Oh, and the signal thing goes for change lanes too. But my thought is, all right, so say you're on a street, there's a speed camera on the side. It's on the other side of the sidewalk, right? So the person who's walking down the sidewalk is going to be between you and the speed camera at some moment. So is it possible, unlikely, I realize it's unlikely, but is it possible that the person is walking past the machine at the same moment that you're in that spot where it would pick you up, and it doesn't see you because the person is blocking you? Is that possible? I'm going to say I think it is. And therefore, I think we should encourage pedestrian traffic. Well, or think about it, right? So think about this. It's primarily there for the school, right? Because it's school kids. Well, busiest time of day for pedestrians is when school kids are out, and that's when it's the least effective. Maybe it sees through people, maybe. Firewood, dry firewood. It's wet firewood. Wet firewood would eventually dry out, right? So would wet firewood be cheaper than dry firewood? this really isn't a turn. I mean, look, I'm using my blinker. That's not really a turn. Look, the blinker doesn't even go off. That's how minor a turn that is. Tested out. So here's what I was doing last night when I was testing. One, I wanted to make sure that I could get the video and the text-to-speech working. Did that. Two, I wanted to see if it would work with, you know, like it'll play over the phone if I wanted it to. I don't have to have anything. It would read it out over the phone, and then I tested that, and the good thing about that is you hear it very clearly, obviously, because you're right there next to the speaker on the phone. But I was afraid if I do that, I might try that one time. But I thought if I do that, if the trays are rattling or something, I might not hear it, or I might not understand what she's saying. It was kind of, I was having fun because I was taking, like, text. There is a limit to how many characters you can type in the chat, but I was taking like the beginning of the Declaration of Independence, the preamble. I was taking pieces of that and typing and just cutting and pasting it into the chat so that it would be something the text would read out to me for a little bit, and it's working pretty good. So all that was working good. One thing, look, this is probably where I lose a connection. So I'll stop and come back to this. Just in case. I'm going to wait till I get back up into the one thing. See that, I think it was UPS. I think it was UPS plane. Did you all see that plane that crashed in Kentucky 2 days ago? 2 days ago? It was unbelievable. It was taking off, so it was full of fuel. It was a massive explosion. This, I heard it was like, I think 12 people died. I would imagine there are people on the ground, right? Because there probably were. I don't think it was a passenger plane. No, it wasn't a passenger plane. It was a delivery company. I think UPS. So I wonder how many people fly in those. Probably not many, right? You need a pilot. I don't imagine people who load them and stuff. They can fly light, so. Probably only a few people on the plane. Imagine most of the people who killed. So, while I was testing last night, everything was going well. The one thing that I tested that I didn't think worked the way I well, I didn't know how it was going to work out, but I thought I'd have more control over the volume level of different things. Basically, if I have, I mentioned the other day that now that I have this earbud in, I could listen to music in the earbud. Since it's not playing out loud, you wouldn't hear it, and I wouldn't have to worry about the copyright issues. So that's what I was thinking. However, I tested if I was listening to music, whether I would still be able to hear the text to speech. And it wasn't, I couldn't get that to work right. Like I couldn't, when I turned the volume up for either the text to speech or the music, it would turn, you know what I mean? They would move up and down simultaneously. I couldn't separate them. So it wasn't loud enough. Like if the music was, if I turned the music way down low, I think there's a song with that lyric in it, isn't there? Music. Turn the music way down low. I don't know. Oopsie. Somebody got a little excited up there. Like, I'm going to make this turn. Ooh, no. So if I turn the music down low enough, I thought, well, maybe if I turn the music down real low and then I can keep the text-to-speech at a reasonable level, I'll still be able to hear it. It'll just be like the music in the background will be just kind of faint, but yeah, that might work. So I did that, and it didn't work. Wendy's has a new Snickerdoodle cookie, Frosty Fusion. Is that all one thing, or are they two different things? Snickerdoodle cookie, Frosty Fusion. So so the result of that story that I just told was that I don't think I can have the music playing in the background of here, serenading me as I'm driving. That's okay. That is fine. Yesterday, and I knew that in October I spent more money than I expected to. I really got a little out of control because I got the Starlink, I got an issue with my home. So I bought several things last month that no human being should have to buy. But I did. I had to do it. Oh, and not to, then I also bought the case and stuff like that for the Starlink. So the Starlink itself, I don't know where the price is right now. When you're watching this, it might even be lower. But I got the Starlink Mini for $299. I think recently it was priced higher, a lot higher. Closer to $400. So I think the prices are coming down. So as as of the end of October 2025. It started was $299. Now I bought it directly from is it called Starlink? Is that what they're called? Starlink? I bought it directly from them, but you can, even the place where I bought the mount to put it on the top of the magnet mount, which is called Veritas Vans. I'll put links eventually in my, because if anybody's watching, they're like, oh, that's kind of cool, you want to go out and buy it, I'll put a link to that. But that company, they're in California, small company, super impressed with their products, super impressed with their service, I have to say. That's totally, I mean, I'm not, I feel weird. I'm not sponsored by anybody, maybe someday, but I'm not sponsored by anybody. I don't make any money off of that. I really did have a very good experience buying from them. And, but they're not cheap. So they'll sell everything. Like you could buy the Starlink Mini from them with the mount, with the battery. I bought the battery separately. Like I was finding all these things, and the last thing that I bought was the mount. But then I realized when I went to buy the mount that I could have bought the battery there, I could have bought the Starlink there, like it could have all been in one package. Although, if you think about it, I mean, that is the way I would go if I were to back up and do the whole thing over again. I'd probably buy the whole thing right from Veritas Vans. But then again, you know, then if you like knew everything you wanted, you just add it all up and put it in your cart, then the true reality of the total would be right in your face. That would be kind of, that might be a little more intimidating. You know, if you do it in pieces, you're like, you don't realize how much money you spend. See, I think their gas pumps are open, but their sign for their gas prices isn't what. Okie dokie. Water. You reading that? Take what they got. Maybe I should just loosen this up. I don't really want to loosen it now. But that might be a better way to do it. There we go. I probably have to call them today. It's kind of quiet. Okay, let me do that. What a day. Open the door till they come out. Okay, all right, guys. Here we go. Okay, let's start with this. I think I do. They leave me with a lot of slots here. I said slots, not sluts. We haven't done Fruity Pebbles on it. Oh God, it looks really good. I'm not sure. Two to go. All right. Donuts. Okay, I'll be right back. Stay there. Go. Get gas today, so we're good. We're back. Just back to the bakery. That's all we gotta do. That's all we gotta do. There we go. Let's go like that. Turn that back. See, if I go like this, if I loosen that and then do it, I guess that's a little bit better. Put that back in. I need a passenger. I need a passenger. See, you're not really viewers, you're passengers. Let's see if that's a thing. That's a thought. I don't have viewers, I have passengers. All right, what do you think? Will the mattress still be there? It's 2 days later. It was there Wednesday. It's now Friday. We skipped a day. But will the mattress still be there? See, this is where somebody would tell you. There's a lot of opportunity in this game. I think it'll still be there. I think it'll still be there. When was the first day we saw it? Saturday, Sunday? I don't think it's been there a weekend, so yeah, I think it's still going to be there. Craycray is the name that my great nephew is ride-alongs. So at first I was definitely going to go with Craycray ride-alongs. Then I realized that was CRA, which are the first three letters of my name. So I'm like, hey, come up with the IG. And that's where I said ideas and goodies. Goodies are the donuts. Ideas just pop out of my head. Freestyle. So that's where that came from. It's kind of early in the game, so I don't know. That a little bit. That's what the ride along. That's the name of the ride along. But then I'm going to have the mammal clips. So when it really gets down to like the videos that people probably watch, it'll be the little clips that I take out of the rides, right? So you stream every day. You get all the material to kind of pull from. Stuff happens out here. So we pull that out, we make those clips. watching my truck driver friends, and I've really kind of discovered that a lot of those are truckers. You know, there are quite a few truck drivers that do live streams. And the one that I watch most frequently, his name's Bobby, and the channel's name is Ride Along Gang. It's a good channel. People in there are very friendly. He's always got 100 plus, usually 200 in there chatting. They don't, not everybody chats, but he's got a pretty good core group of people. Actually, a lot of times they just sort of chat among themselves. Sometimes he'll get out of the cab, he'll stop somewhere to run in and either get something to eat or use the bathroom, and then we're all just kind of sitting in the cab waiting. It's basically like you're riding along in the truck, and everybody else is just riding along with you. I've noticed that with the live chat on this stream. Even the folks that talk, they're not doing it, they're not driving, but they might just be sitting there discussing something. Notice for live streams, at least, the live chat, there's usually a community. I didn't notice. I didn't see the. Did anybody notice? I didn't see the mattress. I think we would have passed it by now. Maybe it was gone. I think I would have noticed if it was there. Like when we came around that last turn and you see this building, you're almost at Westminster, so you see that building. And I did not. I was surprised how fast we got. Oh, I did notice when I was in that, making that last delivery, not the last one, the one before, that nobody's won the Mega Millions. It's like 840 something million. I didn't buy a ticket though. I mean, I should. When do they pick it? I think they pick it tonight. Have you noticed that there are a couple different models, I think, the Volkswagens, where their emblem lights up in there, like as the lights that go across the front. And they have the headlights, but then they also have like a bar that goes across. And this is in the front. I don't know if it's in the back as well, but just last couple days I've noticed when a Volkswagen goes by that you can tell it's a Volkswagen because at night, because the VW emblem. It's in the front. What do you call that? Grill area is lit up like a Christmas tree. Assuming you use white lights. Guy I was talking about, Bobby, truck driver. I heard him say the other day that he's not going to be home. Like, he's on the road all the time. Basically lives on the road. He's got the kind of cab where he's got the place to sleep and all in there. But he's not going to be home again until Thanksgiving. Right now, I think he's going from, he left Georgia the last couple of days. He's on his way to Denver. He pretty much lives in his truck. I'm not sure I would like it. I think I would, right? Even if you kept your dog with you, which would be kind of unfair, at least to my dog. My dog likes to run around the yard. He needs to be able to run. I mean, you stop enough that you could let him out and do that, but it would be I think it would be very confining. But even for a human being, that's a lot to stay in. Say, well, you got people who, I mean, I worked in an office most of my life, right? So 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 or 8 to 5 or whatever your hours are, you're pretty much in your cubicle. I was a cubicle creature. So, you're in your office or your cubicle all day, every day. With computers now, your window to the world is really your computer screen. So it's hard to explain. You don't really feel like, it sounds like you would feel very confined and trapped. Because if you think about it, like, all right, the truck driver's sitting in their truck for hours all day. People are stuck at their desk all day, calls and all that kind of stuff. The truck driver at least has the freedom. There is freedom in that, right? Like, you're out, you're on the road, you're seeing different things. So that's kind of cool, but you are really still just working in that little space where you're sitting. Everything else is just out the windshield, right? You're in a 3D movie all day, every day. And you can get a lot of different views. So you can create, even if you're working in a desk, how your boss will feel about that. You're supposed to be working on a spreadsheet. Basically, you got all your windows closed because your desktop pictures mountain. Which you want to look at for a little while. I was never big. I prefer not to work at home as well as working in the office. I just like the getting up. I mean, I realize the commute can be kind of tiresome, but I don't like just being home all the time. Yesterday wasn't bad, but I think it was the coolest of the days this week. I think it's going to go back into the upper 50s and 60s. Today I think we get to the low 50s. No, I think, no, that's not true. Today we're going to get to the 60s. Yesterday was the 50s. Mentioned that it takes 12 hours for my videos to process, right? So I end the stream and then YouTube starts processing it. Processing it is just that you can still watch them, but they're, it's like getting the quality of the video up and putting everything together, and there's a transcript of the entire video every time you do it. So all of that stuff is being put together and set up for you. And I don't think you can really do things like pull a clip out and stuff like that. I've tried that once and it didn't work, but I tried it very shortly after the stream. I don't know if that becomes available later. Before it's done, but later in the process. I don't know, but it was taking 12 hours to finish processing. And that would be a 1.5, 2 hour stream, which is what this is going to be, right? This is about 2 hours. So processing time goes. Like, I would imagine if you were some huge YouTuber with millions of subscribers, thousands of viewers every time you're on, I bet that time is just 10 minutes. Yeah. That makes sense. You need to prioritize the processing engine. You want to do it on those bigger accounts first. So. See that water tower straight ahead? That's where we go. Straight shot. Thinking about it, but he didn't do it. Squirrel! When I say the word squirrel, AJ excuse me. Separated off into their clicks. You can see over that tree over there. Well, yes. Okay. All right, folks. Another day. Another day. It's Friday. So I'll be back tomorrow, 5 o'clock, 5:15, for a very similar trip. Should be the same route. Same route. The only question is, do we do one? Do we do two? But be the same 2 deliveries. If you have a good day, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye now.